So what tanks am I talking about? It is the 113. And you're sitting here thinking to yourself, the 113 is that tier 8? Yes, it is. It's the 112. And it's actually better. I would rather have this chassis, this turret, this gun platform at tier 10 than I would the 113. And you're thinking, oh, but the 113 has better armor because it's angled back more. Well, it's actually not. It's actually the same exact angling, the same exact sloping. It just doesn't look like it because the turret is further back on the 113, and so that just makes it look sleeker. But that is actually not the case, and we will get into that. What do you mean the 113 is so bad it's at tier 8? You're not referring to the 112, are you? The 112 is not the same tank as the 113. The 113's hull is angled back further. I've been told that a lot, that the 113's hull is angled back further than the 112's, but that is actually not true. As you can see, here is the 113. Then, if we switch over to the 112, here it is. Watch. Nothing changed. Did you see that? Nothing changed. The hull did not change. The turret may be different, but the hull is the same. Oh, and that is not all. While we are here, let's take a look at some armor on the 113. Now that we've looked at the proportions, let's look at the armor. Alright, so we're going to look at it like this. Upper plate, about 287 effective, angled like this. So, but remember, this is a shorter tank. Most likely, if you're fighting it, you're kind of going to be more like this on it. So it's about 263, which is about a 50-50 chance to penetrate with tier 10 mediums. And you're going to struggle to go through this reliably with a heavy tank gun. But if you load your premium, you're going through it every time. Look at the lower plate. 120 millimeters, 190 effective. Alright, the upper and the lower plate are the same. It's just the angling is different. So that's what makes the lower plate so much worse. Turret's good. We don't really need to talk about the turret. The turret is good. Cupola's not so good. Now if you angle, look at the side armor. Ready? You angle like this. It's actually pretty good. Like, look at this. Look at this. You can angle like this. You know, you can angle even almost up to about here. But believe it or not, when we switch over to the 112, watch this. The armor's even better. I did not change the angle. This side armor on the 112 is actually better. It is actually better. And not only that, the upper plate is exactly the same. The lower plate is better. We have a tier 8 premium tank in this game, which actually has better armor than its tier 10 version. Not only is it a tier 8 2 tiers lower, but the 112 also has preferential matchmaking. Another thing that makes this so much better than the 113 is the fact that it's front mounted. The turret is front mounted, making it not that awkward to go around corners. And it has 6 degrees of gun depression. Something that makes the 113 so awkward is the fact that it is not front mounted. You have 1 less degree of gun depression, and you have to show so much of your tank. And it's really, really awkward when you're trying to get shots off on people. And, yeah, that's always seems to be an issue with the 113. Now that we've looked at the armor, let's go look at these tanks in game. We'll look at the 113 live, not really live, but we'll just look at it, watch it, how well it does. I just played a random game in it and tried to use the armor as much as I could, and then we'll do the same thing in the 112, and we'll just compare. One last thing I did not mention now that we're sitting here waiting for this game to start. The gun on the 113 is mounted at the very, very bottom of the turret. And what that means is a lot of the times when you think you're hull down, they can actually still see the top of your hull or the top of the side of your hull or whatever. And you're not as hull down as you think. The 112, however, the 2 things that's so great about it, another 2 things, is the fact that A, its gun is higher up, meaning when you think you're hull down, more likely you are. And B, even if you're not completely hull down, as long as you're hiding that lower plate, even premium rounds from tier 8s are going to struggle to penetrate your tank. Your premium rounds are not going to go through your upper plate very well, especially if you're angling. Remember, it's about 260 to 270 millimeters of effective upper plate armor, unangled. So that is at tier 8, and you get to fight tier 6s, guys. You get to fight tier 6s in your tier 8 premium. Now, 2 things that I will give three things really I'll give the 113 is it's got the better rate of fire, of course, and it also has more alpha, so that's nice. And the other two things are it also has a better gun handling, much better gun handling. See, you can see this thing barely even aim, boom, snap it off, we hit. And it also does have better mobility, but the mobility isn't a huge factor though when you compare it to the 112. It's 5 kilometers an hour faster, and it's got a slightly better it actually has worse ground resistances, only on soft, but it has a slightly better power to weight as well. So this is a little bit faster than the 112, but it's nothing to write home about. And plus at tier 10 you now have tanks like the WZ-111-5A, which just stomps on this thing in regards to armor, in regards to mobility, in regards to gun depression and gun performance. It's the 5A is just better. Then you have the IS-7, which is also faster, and so on and so forth. And here is a Conqueror. And once again, I really want this guy to just shoot me. It's like, hey bud, pay attention to me. I want you to shoot me. So we're going to try side scraping. Now this is going to be a more comfortable tank to side scrape in as compared to the 112. Once again, that's because its turret is not all the way on the front, so it makes it a lot more comfortable to side scrape in. Okay, so there's a plus. But you can way over angle in the 112 because you don't fight tier 10s and you don't fight mini tier 9s. You fight 8s, you fight 7s, you fight 6s. In fact, a lot of times you don't even have to side scrape. You can just peek around a corner. Show your front plate because your turret is way up on the front. Your hull is super angled back. You can almost just go around corners in the 112. You cannot do that in the 113. And we're gonna this engagement right here is gonna exactly prove my point of this tank. This guy is shooting premium rounds. Alright, this guy is shooting heat. That's what you do in your tier 10 heavy tanks. You just load your premium rounds and that's all you do. And things aren't gonna go well for me because of that. I mean, we're gonna win this engagement, but he doesn't even try. He just presses his A button and boom, that went through my turret. The turret, he just went straight through with his premium rounds, straight through my turret, guys, and we'll see that in a second. Ready? There we go, straight through the turret. And then he's going to do it again. Not through the turret, but this time through my upper hull. That was my angled upper hull he just went through with his heat shell, which is really unfortunate. He hit the very right side of the upper hull and he went straight in. Why? Because like I said, this tank relies completely on its angles. It doesn't rely at all on its armor thickness or gun depression because it doesn't have any, or the fact that its gun is high up on the turret, which it's not. Having a low mounted gun is actually not a good thing in this game. And this is actually the only shot we're going to block this game, is that one into our tracks, because he's looking down at our track, so that's never going to go in, and we're angled nicely. But once again, you're going to see here something really awkward about the tank, which I definitely really want to demonstrate for you guys so you understand. And it's this. Look how far I have to go forward to get my gun on him. The front of my tank is super long, and you can actually see the very front of my tank. And even though I feel like I might be hull down and you can only see my turret here, that is not the case. And you're going to see he hits right beneath my turret and straight into my armor. Once again, the 112 would not have that issue. I would not have needed to poke up so far. Why? Because my gun is higher up and my turret is front mounted, not central mounted, which is kind of awkward. You either want your turret, in my opinion, way in the front of the hull or way in the back of the hull. You don't want it in the middle because now it's just like you don't get anything done. And so that's the issue there. And I believe, yeah, this is it. We're gonna die, but we're gonna try to get one more shot off. But artillery is looking, and because of that, we get tracked, and the bat chat pens us in our front while on the move, probably auto locking. Who knows? And yeah, that's the tank's armor for you. And this guy was very useful. Thank you, VK. But like I said, I wasn't playing this game to win. I was playing the game just to demonstrate the tank. Next, we're in the 112, and unfortunately, there are no tier 6s in this game, so I can't really demonstrate how brutal this tank is. Oh wait, yes I can. Another question that gets asked to me a lot is, do I get the WZ-111 or do I get the 112? Do not get the WZ-111. It's worse than the 112. The 112 is more mobile. The 112, I think, has a longer reload and slightly worse gun handling, but that's it. That's it. You have more armor, and I think more gun depression, and you have more mobility. It's just, you sacrifice just a little bit of gun performance. That's it. Just a little bit of gun performance, which frankly is fine because you're super durable. And I'm going to show that off in this game right here. Just exactly how durable this tank is. It's ridiculous how durable this tank is. It's so good. And It's mobile. Look it. We're not slouching. This is no slouch. We're not going 50 like the 113, but we're still going 45. Now listen, don't go out and just go, oh, I gotta go buy the 112. You don't need to go out and just buy yourself a 112, okay? I just want to make this video just to show just how bad the 113 is. It's a bad tank. Like, and especially after the nerfs they gave it, it's not really good anymore. I never see anyone play it. Why would you play it when you have the WZ-1115A? Why would you play it when you have the Object 430U, a medium tank which has more armor than it, and not a super long hull, a front-mounted turret? Like, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. And I just want, once again, I'm doing the same thing in this game as I did in the 113. I want to just use the armor. I'm going to start things off by side-scraping and testing out how well it does side-scraping. That's a T-34 with a tier 10 gun. He bounces off. Fire the shell, we bounce off. Now we bounced all three of those guys, I think. Yes, all three of them have fired and bounced off of me. So now we're going to advance towards this guy, and he bounces off our side. Look how angled we are. How much we angled our side armor. We way over-angled in most tanks, but he just bounces off with his top gun. He has the top gun, and he bounced off of our side, angled at almost a 40-degree angle, which is, once again, ridiculous, because this is a tier 8 with preferential matchmaking. You will never fight tier 10s. And so far, we have not received a single hit point of damage. They have not done anything to us. Nothing. And we're in the front. Once again, I just want to use this armor. I'm just like, come on, guys, shoot me. I was playing this game to be shot at. I wanted to get shot at. I wanted to get put under pressure. I wanted to die. That sounds weird. But I did. I wanted to die. He bounces off of us. We penetrate him. No problem. I looked to see where he bounced. I think he hit our upper plate, but I can't quite find it. But once again, in your 113, if that guy's a tier 10 fighting us, he might penetrate our upper plate. Come on, can we find a shot? No, a little bit of lag there. He fires again into our tracks. Does no damage to us. Sometimes when a tank is angled, you can penetrate their tracks and their hull. But the 112 at this tier, it just isn't working. It just isn't working for these guys. And we have still yet to receive any damage from our tank. From their tanks, should I say. And now we're moving in for this guy. Boom, we put it in. We track and ammo wreck him. And once again, the 110 bounces off of us, which is going to be a trend. He likes to bounce off of us. Here's our Oho fires heat, breaks his gun, and we get to pick up the kill. Down he goes, and we're changing our attention to this guy. And once again, I want this guy to shoot me. I want people to just shoot me when I'm in this tank. It's just like, look at me. Look at me. Shoot me. There's an Iron Rain down there, but that's okay. We put a shell into this guy. Come on, shoot me. Now I'm going to face hug him, just to demonstrate the face hug. And he bounces off of us, no problem. But now we've got the Slapjack. I don't know what the Slapjack was doing, but he was grinding against me. And he's not letting me pull back to shoot this guy, but that's okay. So we're going to go forward to try to get this guy, but it doesn't matter. Someone else bounces off of us. It was that Black Prince. I think it was the Black Prince. There's the Black Prince. I think the shot before was actually from the ISM. I could be wrong. But it doesn't matter which one it was because they're still bouncing off of us. And remember the lower plate on this thing? How it was actually pretty good. It was like 220 effective or something like that. Well, no, it wasn't quite 220 effective. It was, I think it was. It was close to there. Yeah, it was like 210, 220 effective. And that was from further away. When you're up close to this thing, that ISM stood no chance. Looking down at my lower plate, he would probably never penetrate me even with premium rounds because of the angling. Which, once again, is just ridiculous. That's just what this tank does. It's a brutal tank. And now we're going to go after a Minuteman, who is also going to be spamming APCR rounds. And, he's going to hit me straight in the upper plate. Spoilers. I know, I'm sorry. But, he's not tier 10. Or tier 9. He's tier 7. So his premium round is really not going to do anything. Hello there. Aiming up a shot. Fire it in, and his return shot bounces off of my upper plate. No problem. I don't know if it hit that turret in the upper plate, but it doesn't matter. He bounces. Also, something I forgot to mention, just look how comfortable this tank is at poking around corners. Like, look at this. I wasn't showing any of my side, and I was able to just poke around that corner and shoot him. The 113 would not have been able to do that. You see what I'm saying? Now we're going to aim one at his hull. And that one bounces. I don't think that should have bounced, but I guess we got a little bit of a low roll, I guess. I know his upper plate's pretty good, but I think it's like 160, 150 effective at that angle, because we didn't hit him in the tracks with spaced armor. But hey, whatever, we bounced off, got a low roll. But then we finish him off with that shot. Not too shabby. And that, my friends, is going to be it. The T20 is going to go down, and then we're going to take a quick look at the post-game results for this game, because this one's a little bit more important. Because I wanted to demonstrate exactly how despicable this tank's hull armor is because it is pretty disgusting, and you're gonna see that. Ladies and gentlemen, and we weren't even top tier, though. You know, we were only fighting same tiers and then lower tiers later. Yes, we got a cool-headed medal for ricocheting 10 shots in a row and a steel wall, but we didn't take a single hit point of damage. Yes, guys, we took 11 shots this game, and all 11 bounced off. You will not be getting that result in your 113. Alright, it's just not going to happen. The tank is not good enough. Now, hopefully, maybe they'll give the 113 some love, give it more gun depression, maybe give it more DPM, maybe buff its upper health from 120 to 130. I know that's not much, but it might be something. But I just wanted to make this video just to let you guys know that beware, stay away from the 113. Hey, maybe you love it, but I don't know why you'd play it when you can play a Russian medium tank, which is literally better. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, slap that like button, comment, and subscribe if you haven't, because apparently 56% of the people who watch my channel are not subscribed, so make sure you go subscribe. And I will see you guys all later. Take care, everyone, and peace out.